Hello and welcome to the Sunday League X Round 8 Russian Grand Prix. We're here at the Sochi Autodrome, I think the third time that Sunday League has visited it, maybe fourth time. It's quite a regular track on the calendar. It was, of course, the Season 1 finale, and 2 years later we're racing here in Sochi. It looked like Andres went straight on at that runoff, not great for him. We're, of course, joined once again by Levi. Levi, say hi.
Привет, ребята!
I assume that was Russian. Antti is going through round to finish off the first lap. I don't have the standings up to date, but we can take a look at the lap times as the drivers blast through. And we have those who didn't take the run-up, obviously, running up in first place. Hernandi with a 31.37, Kraft a 32.17. Kubo with a 31.60 so far. Jake 3/10 faster than that on his first attempt. Levi, if you've got some sort of knowledge of the track, what sort of pole times would we be expecting to see today?
Low 31, I'm sure of that.
Good to know. Very fast lap from Jake, actually. Hernandi has gone just about faster. Gwetsley is a second off it at the moment. Let's look at some of the big dogs here. It looks like Nomskar, I had him for a second. He's 32.02, so he's just really needing to get into it at the moment. Jaruni with a 31.90, pretty decent for him. Gamer with a 31.38. We could see some surprises here in the qualifying session. They wind their way through the final sector. There will be some collisions with the pit wall, I'm sure, at the end of the lap. But for now, let's have a look at the qualifying results for the Russian Grand Prix. Pamushas takes pole position, the second of his career. That's unbelievable. In the nameless car, Pamushas is on pole in Russia. He must love the track and country now. Danimator starts on the front row of the grid. Hernandi in third and Nuno in fourth. Locked out is the third row of the grid in the green NTHs. Jake driving for them, starting fifth. That's his career second highest start behind Hell Valley. And he will start from 6th place. Gamer and truly old teammates, 7th and 8th for them. Rosim and Cardo, lockout row 5. Kubo will be starting in 11th ahead of Uris and Jaruni. Kraft up in 14th ahead of Nomskar, only managing 15th place in qualifying. Gwetsley 16th for FGR. Then we've got Andres and Goose, SCP on the back row. Not the first time we've seen that this season. Interestingly enough, Pamushas with a shock pole. Brilliant performance from him. He's not running the FGR livery today. He's running the commentary livery because the FGR livery has a tribute with the Russian flag on the back commemorating 1 year since they won the championship constructors with their half Russian lineup. He's opted not to go for that car. Looks like the commentary team might have built a better car than FGR. What do you think, Levi?
Absolutely, because we put so much resources in it just for shits and giggles, because when you pick it, you don't know what will you get. And so, to follow the rules, you pick your car, the car of your team, while there is a variant with super duper OP car of commentary team.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've invested most of our R&D this season to developing a good commentary car in case we ever need to step in, but not expecting Pimu to use it. He does have a special dispensation from the FIA to race with the blank livery, so to say, this season. Time to get underway for the Russian Grand Prix. Pamushas starts on pole position. We're underway. Pimu leads them away on the soft compound tyre. We've got Danny right behind, also on the softs, as is Hernandi. Almost all the field. Only Uris, Jaruni, Nomskar and Goose start on the mediums. Pimu leads them away. Then it's Nuno. Jake in the background. Nuno looking to the inside at Hernandi. Jake up there too. Can they go 3, 4 wide into the middle sector? Pimu keeps the lead. Hernandi goes wide into the wall, but manages to rejoin still in the lead. Side by side they go for the lead. Who can lead the first lap here? Truly up in the background past the NTHs. They drag each other wide, side by side across the line. And Andy asking for some mercy here. He's not getting any from Pamushas. Nuno up into second. And Andy in third. Danny then truly Uris up into 6th position. Fast starting LYR. He's done that in multiple races this season. Jake's fallen back a bit though. Down into 10th position. Gamer hanging around in 9th, about where he started. Uris is leading this pack. We might see some big sandwiches in the walls. Gwetsley squeezed in there as well. Then we've got Jaruni and Antti with a lag rocket that's held up the cars behind Eurus, Rozim, all victims of that, and this mid-pack have to be very careful as they wind their way through that final corner. I've got a little bit of lag, so I'll hand over to Levy just for a second. Levy, how's things going?
We're having clouds, and so weather marker moves, as you would expect that. Trul and Pimushis, one of the OGs, are fighting out, and never mind, Dynamite and Pimushis battle, but Pimushis doesn't leave any mercy. He cuts the corner, takes quite a penalty for that with grass. And now he pushes Pimushis, and we're gonna have fucking rain! This is unbelievable!
Apologies for any language you might have heard in our international broadcast of the Sunday League race, but Pimu has fallen down truly. I was about to say has gotten himself into second place. Not the case now. Nobody has pitted apart from the back four, who are now Gwetzli, Andres, Kraft and Eurus. The rain, though, is leaving. Eurus will be furious with that he got baited yet again by what the players refer to, what the drivers refer to as fake rain, but it will be incredibly funny to see, as Lando Norris had to do a couple years ago, all of these professional drivers wind their way around the track with the rain on there, but not heavy enough currently to warrant a switch. Truly, interestingly enough, did come in just that one lap later, as did Kubo. They didn't get undercut by the wet runners, who are still all hanging out at the back. Jake and Jaruni side by side. Nomskar to the inside of the both of them. Gets really fascinating to see them all battle out on the dry compound tyres. We'll have a look at the front lot doing it as well. Danny leads currently. Hernandez side by side with him. These former LSA teammates. Danny going off to Mayhem, winning races in good success, and he looks to have, if he can do well here today, he will have one hand on that championship trophy.
We're gonna have more rain!
We're gonna have more rain. I hope nobody came into the pit lane, but I fear some might have. Kubo was in. That's gonna be his second stop. Poor guy. Poor guy. He switched from the softs to the wets. And now he's, I don't even know what's happened there. Jaruni is going slowly, very slowly here, but that is because he's on the mediums. And we have a huge amount of mixed strategy. Let's go right back up to the top. Danimator ahead of Hernandez still. Nuno and Pamushas. Cado there in the background. And how will this be affected as Cado hits that wall? How will this be affected by those who already took the wet tyres early on? Danny gets held up a little bit by Nuno there, but blasting through is Eurus and Andres into the lead of the race, and Eurus is leading the Russian Grand Prix. Andres in second because of that gamble on to the wet weather tyres. We've seen it in Copenhagen, we've seen it again here in Sochi. A shock leader, and Eurus, despite seemingly getting baited by the so-called fake rain, stuck to his guns and will lead the Russian Grand Prix. Danimator gets through on Andres. Andres, despite racing for SCP today, won't provide much of a threat to his boss, of course being usually the ANR for Mayhem Racing. Hernandez Gwetzli, who was right at the back of the field, is in 5th place at the moment. Fantastic for him. Pamushas down into 7th. The rain hasn't treated him too nicely. Kubo, despite that second stop, is in 8th, 9th place, battling Gamer for it as we speak. Levy, what do you think about this? Oh, as we see a big lag rocket, Gamer taken into the wall by a slightly jumpy Kubo there. Levy, your thoughts on this so far? This has been an amazing start.
This is just amazing, as you say. You're still in battling with Dynamite. This is not the you will see in a century, and the battle between Hernandi can actually help Danny. But I remember that Hernandi has the pace in the wet, so it can shake up even more.
Absolutely. One top 5 finish in his career for Eurus McProl, that coming in Munich in round 2 last season, as he goes side by side with Danimator for the lead here. He will have been absolutely, I can't wait to watch his onboard. He will have been absolutely furious with the early fake rain and delighted that it did come back to stay. Andres is still in 5th position, fighting the 4-time world champion for it. If that doesn't tell you something about the absolute strategy fluke that we've seen here today, then I don't know what will. Cado very respectably up in 9th. He was actually running very well without that strategy call. He was in 5th place in the front pack as they all piled into the pit lane. Gwetzli has gone 1 lap longer and will lead a lap in the Russian Grand Prix, just to top off the first quarter of this race. Gwetzli, oh no, I got that wrong. That's annoying. Well, anyways, they stayed out on the wets. Danimator, Hernandi, and Guetzli. Guetzli leads a lap in the podium positions, rather. Interesting to see how this will affect those behind Danny and Hernandi. Have they gone too long on these wets because the track dried up pretty quickly into their stint? They'll be coming in to the pit lane now. Guetzli drifting his way in as well. Eurus, the front of the dry tyre runners. We'll have to see as he blasts down the main straight. Where will he come out relative to the front two? Will Eurus retake the lead? No, he's right behind Danny. Basically neck and neck with the strategy call there is 1 lap earlier or 1 lap later the move. He did go 1 lap earlier. He has lost the slipstream of Danny, but he is still running in second place. It's 2 and 4 for Lynx Racing. Andre's still in 5th here, looking to go round the outside of Nuno. Up behind Hernandi, he'll take the dollop of slipstream down into the right and left hand section, and we've got a 4-way battle here. They need to be careful not to hit that pit wall. Andres cuts a bit extra to be safe,